Welcome back, guys, and today I'm here to talk about Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street with Josh Groban and Annalee Ashford. Let's get into it. And honestly, this was a very solid production for what it was. And what it was very good. However, I feel like this Sweeney Todd is safe. It's very accessible, mainstream. It's not like your company revival, which is radical and groundbreaking. It's very basic. And that's not bad. You know, the show is genuinely a good time. Josh Groban is really good. He has great vocals. He sings the score beautifully. And my friend said this. He said he sings it beautifully, but he doesn't act it. And I feel like his Sweeney wasn't angry enough. He wasn't rageful enough. He didn't go there. I didn't feel the anger and the pain when he was singing about Joanna and how, you know, his love was gone. I just didn't feel that rage, and I feel like his acting was better in Great Comet than it was in Sweeney Todd. Now, I do think Pierre is a character that fits Groban's personality better than Sweeney. And again, Josh is really good in the part, but I just feel like it's a bit subdued, and ultimately, if I were to say who was going to win Best Leading Actor, I'd say Ben Platt. You know, it's not that he was bad. I just think he didn't live up to what I was expecting, and I think that he could have gone more into the role of Sweeney. He could have gotten more into the anger, into the emotions, into the rawness of the character. And so I feel like he played it a bit more subdued. And you can play Sweeney subdued, but it's a very tricky, complicated line to follow. Annalee Ashford is amazing. I mean, if Kimberly Akimbo wasn't coming in this season, or wasn't in this season, she would win Best Leading Actress. The comedic timing, the personality, like, she knows that character inside and out. It's a phenomenal performance. I mean, there is nothing more to say other than it needs to be witnessed live. Lives up to the expectation. Best part of the show, and one of the the strongest performance, I think, of the season, from a leading actress. We're on par with Victoria Clark, you know, and it sucks because I really do think that Annalee could win this, but I do think that the politics of the Tonys is Victoria Clark's been in the business for 20 years. She's probably not going to get into the Tony nom or win, so this is her moment. But Annalee, I think, will get back into the Tony nom and win at some point. But she definitely puts on a stellar performance here. I know a lot of people criticize Jordan Fisher, but I thought he was very good. And I thought his voice was decent, you know? I mean, he wasn't, like, classically trained, and he doesn't have the voice to do a more operatic score, you know, something more contemporary, and pop is probably gonna present his voice better, but I still thought he did great. Gaten Matarazzo, I think, should get nominated for a Tony, because his performance, especially when he got crazy at the end and he kills Sweeney, was so harrowing, was so dark and like messed up, and he went to such a dark place that, like, I was like, whoa, Gaten, I didn't think you could go there. Like, it was like, whoa. Like, I mean, a lot of it I can't even use to describe words. You just gotta go see it. Now, as for the production, I thought that the set was pretty basic. I thought it could have been more interesting, and if anything, I think it could have been grander. It's very, like, one backdrop and a set, and it kind of, I feel like with a production of this magnitude, you want big sets and costumes, and I feel like I didn't get that with this. And there is a cool scene with a crane, and that crane has, like, acts as a prison, and it goes around the audience, and it felt thrilling. It felt like, oh my god, this is the level that this Sweeney Todd can go to, but then but it doesn't stay that way for the whole thing. If it did, I'd say this is gonna beat Parade, but ultimately I do think Parade will beat Sweeney Todd, and I don't think this is gonna I don't think it's on the same level as Parade, if I'm being honest. They definitely went for a much more naturalistic tone for this, and maybe they spent a lot of the money on the star casting, but I just was a little let down from a visual perspective. I thought the choreography was beautiful, especially in Poor Thing. When they have Judge Turpin being represented by shadows, I thought that choreography and the use of shadows, especially in City on Fire, like, those two numbers were highlights. City on Fire. City on Fire. That song was the best thing I've seen on Broadway, maybe ever. The lighting, the sets, the costumes, the choreo, everything just came together into perfectness. It was just like, whoa, if the whole show could have been like City on Fire, then the show would have been like, I would have been saying, marvelous, amazing, life-changing, like I said about Parade. You know, and I think that there's a level of excitement, of danger, of, you know, intensity, and I feel like they kind of make a very, you could say, subdued, Disney-fied version of Sweeney Todd. You know, they don't do the whistle at the beginning, they do show the blood, but the audience was laughing, and if the audience is laughing, that's kind of not good. I just feel like I wanted a Sweeney that was a bit weirder, maybe a bit more off-Broadway-esque, a bit darker, and I feel like this production kind of shied away from getting too gross and in there. But that's, at least, for me at least, what I want from a Sweeney, is for a Sweeney to make me uncomfortable, to feel like I'm watching a horror film. And I got that moment when I was watching City on Fire. But in every other number, which was still good, but it just wasn't at that level. It just wasn't. I thought that the whole section of Greenfinch and Linnet Bird and Ah Miss, felt like that went on for too long, but it's always been a criticism I've had. I do think Act 1 is a little bit too long, just a little bit, and Act 2 is incredibly short. I thought that A Little Priest was very funny. I thought the opening was very stunning with the choreography and smoke. And yeah, I mean, this production was solid. It wasn't bad at all. It was good. It had good sets, good costumes, good choreography, good acting. A solid 7 out of 10. Go and see it. But I just feel like, with the creative team of Thomas Kail, Josh Groban, the guy, Alex Lacamoire, I just feel like they could have done better. I feel like this wasn't their best work. They could have created a version of Sweeney that was, like, God level. And they made something that was just, like, good level, you know? But I just feel like with this team and this cast, it could have been so much more. And it gets there at certain points. And then at other points, it's good, but it's like, but it's not that, you know what I mean? So, hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. I think a lot of people have shared that sentiment with me. If you've seen the musical, you'll know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't, again, it's a good show. If you're a fan of Sondheim and Sweeney, go and see it. You're not going to be disappointed, but you're going to realize, oh, they're doing this kind of Sweeney Todd, which is a bit more PG-13, a bit more tamer, and not as thrilling, and maybe not as, like, you know, whoa, as you want it to be. But City on Fire alone is worth the price of admission. That song is amazing. I think when it comes to Tony's, this will go with maybe Best Lighting Design, maybe Choreo, but I think we're gonna see it walk away with, like, 1 award, 2 awards, but it's definitely, I think, gonna lose to Parade in a lot of the major categories. So that's my review of Sweeney Todd. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.